Welcome to Say Like a Champ, episode 243. It's your boy A-Dub.
And your boy Strizzy. What's up, SLAC fam?
Welcome back in the building. Another week in sports, and obviously lots to talk about with the NBA playoffs starting off, and also this week being NFL draft week. So, one of those milestone events in the offseason that we always look forward to, the NFL draft, to kind of let us know we're making progress, getting back towards that season. So, later on in this show, we will be doing a round one mock draft with Strizzy and I being your GMs for the evening, and we're gonna hopefully get some few more submissions and compare that next week to see how we do. But I'm very excited for Thursday's NFL draft. But what's good with you, Strizzy? How are you feeling?
Pretty good, man. It's Monday. I'm trying to look at Monday as a little more positive. But going to a Diamondbacks game for the job later on this week, so it'll be the first time I see the Diamondbacks in person. And then also got a couple of tickets for to see the Mercury play, so I'll be seeing Angel Reese twice. I'm going to her preseason game and the regular season game.
Nice.
And then I got invited to go to like open house or something like that. So I'm thinking about trying to get some more tickets to see if I can check out. Obviously. Caitlin Clark and I'm forgetting her name. She went to the Sparks. Oh man,
the other girl, number 2 or what?
Yeah, she went number 2. I'm drawing a blank on her name right now, but yeah, she's a phenomenal player as well. But yeah, so trying to show my support for the WNBA. I think so they're definitely heading in the right direction, and we talk about all the time on, they should be paid more, stuff like that. But in order for them to get paid more, we got to get out there, what I mean? So, try to get it. I'm hopefully trying to get some tickets for all three of us, when I go to this open house, so that me, you, and Marcus can get out there and catch a game or whatever. So, what they tell me, I might just grab some tickets for all three of us. So, catch us out there this year.
That's what's up. Yeah. That would be dope. We got to see Breanna Stewart's first game as a pro.
Yeah,
way back when, so that's pretty cool, man. We've got to see some really fun stuff on that side, so that's what's up. Yeah. But yeah, with the mentioning that it is Monday too, just want to let everybody know we are pre-recording this show, so please keep the comments coming. But if we don't reply or pop up your comments on the screen, that is why. I'm actually going to be traveling again, and so to keep our thing going, to keep our thing alive, we're just going to do a little pre-taped episode this week, and we'll be right back with y'all next week. So that's what it is. Let's go ahead and jump into it. We're going to do a quick roundabout of our categories, and then we will get to our mock draft for the second half of the show. Let me pull up our graphics real quick, and we're just going to dive right in. Of course, like we were talking about, the NFL draft is a big topic for this week. But before that, getting to the NFL, one interesting thing that came out right now, because again, there's not too much NFL news going on, but the Broncos did get some new jerseys. And the Broncos have some classic jerseys throughout their history. But these right here, these new jerseys, they look really bad. Honestly, they look like a mixture between like UTEP and Syracuse. They look very collegiate to me. But Strizzy, what did you think of the Broncos' new jerseys?
Pretty much the same thing you said. I don't know why, for some reason, the far left one and the far right one, like you said, look very collegiate to me for whatever reason. I don't know why. Maybe it's just the amount of blue. I don't know, but you're right though. The one in the middle looks a little bit more traditional in a sense, you know what I mean? And obviously they're able to get a couple more helmet designs this year, which I think is actually pretty dope. But yeah, I'm kind of on this like hating Bronco bandwagon right now.
The other piece of news actually relates to the Broncos as well. They did trade for Zach Wilson from the Jets, so they're going to get the Jets are getting back a 6th round pick for this Thursday's draft, which is really nothing in comparison to what they gave up to move up to draft Wilson originally. But, kind of like Sam Darnold before him, Wilson is another one of these super high draft picks that just didn't pan out for whatever reason in New York. So he's headed to the Broncos, and it'll be very interesting to see if he ends up being the Broncos starter come this fall if they're not able to land somebody in the draft on Thursday. But Zach Wilson, I feel like he's pretty much done, but I still am glad for him to get a fresh start. What do you think?
I come the same way. I feel unfortunately, I feel like I've never said anything positive about Zach Wilson. You know what I'm saying? Like, but like, It's kind of like Sam Darnold, right? Like we never really got anything positive to really show for it. You know what I mean? He did not have like the best time in New York. It just never worked out for him. So hopefully, maybe he gets with a different coach, different play style, kind of a fresh start. Maybe it kind of helps with that. We saw what happened with Geno Smith. Obviously a much better situation, but if Zach Wilson wants to, keep his job somewhat in this league, he's got to show them something in Denver. So we'll see. Hoping for it. I'm rooting for him. Never want someone to lose their job. You know what I mean? Like he's got family and friends to feed and all that kind of fun stuff. So hopefully he figures it out.
Yeah, most definitely. And depending on which direction they do go in the draft, it's crazy though that he could end up being a starter, and then a guy like Justin Fields in the season he had last year, he might end up being a backup. So
I know, crazy.
It's just really weird how this quarterback carousel works, or the way the NFL goes. But Wilson and Sam Darnold might end up with starting jobs in different locations after having rough times with the Jets. So pretty crazy. But that was the main things, the main news going on for the NFL. Really just all signs pointing towards the draft this Thursday, Friday, and Saturday out there in Detroit. And we'll see what kind of a show they put on. I feel like the last few years have been pretty cool as far as the crowd reception, and of course like Vegas and everything, pretty dope. So we'll see what Detroit's got, but I feel like they'll make it special somehow.
Definitely agree.
But moving on to NBA, going to jump over here real quick and just want to talk about the playoff series so far. Let's start on the left side. The Thunder yesterday beating the Pelicans in a really gritty game. Ended up being only a couple points. I like what I saw from both teams, really. I think the Pelicans are going to kind of hang tough, but what did you think so far about that series?
Yeah, same thing. I couldn't help but think, Zion's playing, Pelicans win that game. You know what I mean? I know he's bummed out, man. Like he looks not only healthy towards the end of the season, but he looked like the player that we all kind of hoped he would be when he got drafted. You know what I mean? Right. So he's been hooping, he's been balling. He's literally looked like the best player on that team, and then gets injured in that play-in game, and now they're playing without him yet again. So it's one of those things where you got to think about what you want to do with Zion going forward. It's like you totally know the type of talent he can be, but right. It's like it's kind of like AD in a sense, right? It's like it's hard to let him go too because he's so good, but also can we count on him? Can we keep paying this dude all this money and not have him at the end of the season? So,
right.
But tough. Thunder need to figure some things out. They did have some dry spells of shooting. You know what I'm saying? So I can't imagine them going through those dry spells, throughout the entire series, but. Pelicans defense was really on all of them last night. Took some late game heroics from SGA to kind of clamp that game down.
Yeah, for sure. I think you're right there, though. I think the Thunder maybe not necessarily working off rust, but just kind of getting into the groove of things and kind of getting that intensity ramped up, because it definitely is different in the playoffs. And the Pelicans just coming off of two basically almost elimination style games, in playing in the play-in. So they definitely came out firing, but I like that. Clippers Mavericks, I was a little bit surprised by the Clippers, even though I think that is going to be a good series. Any takeaways from that game?
Same thing. I feel like, I don't know if that's, Russ. Clippers just came out firing. I mentioned it, I think, last week. I didn't think that Kawhi was going to play, and he ended up not playing. But kind of the same thing, like Luka and Kyrie both kind of started out like slow and then turned it up in the second half, but it was just a little too late. You know what I mean? They were, Clippers are getting all the offensive rebounds, all the gritty balls, all those hustle plays, and Mavericks they didn't come out as hot as I thought they would. So kind of looking for them to kind of tie things up, especially if Kawhi sits another game in game two. But the Clippers are a really good team. I could definitely see them in the Western Conference Finals if they can give Kawhi enough time to get right.
Yeah. I think that is going to be the key. And I thought he was going to be healthy, but you were right on it, him sitting out again. But even without him, they did look pretty formidable.
Yeah.
The Suns Timberwolves, that first game on Saturday, I really liked what I saw from the Timberwolves. I'm starting to think like that this series isn't going to be as close as I thought.
Right.
Their size is just too much for the Suns. Even though the Suns have Bull, like they don't really deploy him at all. But the Timberwolves, their size, and then Anthony Edwards just really being like a game changer, like really stepping up to be like a takeover type player. Seeing him chirp with KD that being one of his like favorite players ever, just like shows like where his confidence level is at.
Yeah.
And I think he's the difference maker there too. So what do you think though? The Suns being a first round out?
Yep, absolutely. Look, I was talking to a friend of mine. We were at the gym the other day, and he was asking like who kind of like who are the 1 through 8s, and I was like, oh no, he's asking who the Suns were playing. And I said they're playing the Timberwolves. And he was like, oh, they should get through them. And I was like, no, they shouldn't. I immediately was like, nah, they probably not. I was like, do they have the talent to do so? Sure, maybe, but I just don't think they can. The Timberwolves are the best. They're the number 1 defensive team in the league. They are really big, and unfortunately, because the Suns aren't a defensive team, I don't think Frank Vogel is the right coach for them. If he really would have, if he would have done what he's supposed to do, that he would have played KD at the center a lot more than what he did. And we're talking about Anthony Edwards, who's just been an absolute monster, the leader that this team has always needed, in my opinion. Looking at what he did when it came to crunch time, when it came down to winning time, and he just KD in his face, it didn't matter who was in his face, he was coming with confidence, just knocking every single shot down. He was not even looking to pass the ball. It was, Kobe-esque, you know what I mean? It's like when it's time to win, like the ball's only supposed to be in my hands, and he did that. You know what I mean? Like I'm this is a time for Book to really kind of step up too. He had a really, really horrible game, a horrible shooting, took a lot of really horrible shots. And I'm sure KD's probably like, I'm tired of feeling like, I gotta keep being the leader of the team when he's getting older. He's still an absolute monster, but he definitely needed some help last Saturday or Sunday, and he just didn't get it. So if the Suns are going to keep playing like that, this is going to be a gentleman's sweep. Yeah,
I feel it. I'm with you there, and I do agree. Like, great comments about the coaching, because they didn't get the right coach for this squad, what they're trying to put together, and we'll see in this series. But obviously, like you said, they have the talent to do it. Yeah. But the Timberwolves, like their roster construction, and then having a star of like unquestionably who's the leader,
exactly,
who, like you said, in crunch time gets the ball.
Yeah.
Sometimes that works better than having a big three and everybody's kind of like waiting for each other to step up. So
yeah, exactly.
That's crazy.
Timberwolves, their whole team is built really well, and McDaniels, man, that dude's really long and lanky. He's been playing some pretty decent defense on Kevin Durant. So
yeah,
I mean, it's tough, man.
They seem like they have all the pieces to take them out. So
seriously, 100%, completely agree.
That's definitely going to be an interesting one, though. Maybe not as close as we thought. And then the Lakers Nuggets. For me, more of the same in this one. Like the Lakers have enough to compete with the Nuggets, but they don't have the crunch time. Like obviously, it's hard to say that with LeBron on that team, but they don't have the winning time guy to really step up. Jamal Murray is that type of closer, but the Lakers don't really have an offensive closer if like LeBron's not hitting his shots. So I think this is going to be another really good series, but the Lakers could find themselves in a similar situation, like maybe not a sweep, but maybe like, a 4-1 situation, only because like they have enough to compete and make the games close, but they don't have enough to like really win it. I hope I'm wrong and it's still only one game, but I'm kind of worried it's more of the same.
Yeah, I feel you on that one. It kind of sucks. I've been on the defensive D'Lo like all year. I think he's played really, really well. I know he had a really bad shooting night, in game one. And I saw him taking shots after the game. So I'm hoping he comes back in game 2 and just plays the way he's been playing up until the playoffs, because they really need his scoring, his 3-point shooting. But as much as I love LeBron James and respect his longevity, man, like his body language just kills me all the time. You would never see Kobe Bryant or Michael Jordan, but it's just
the deflated, like
but it's the walking, it's the not grabbing rebounds, it's the I don't know, man. It's just his body language just upsets me so much, man. And he's a phenomenal player. Again, you 1A, 1B, like you can argue any side on who the GOAT is, but like I just feel like him, the reason why he'll never be the GOAT to me is just like he doesn't have that just championship pedigree, even though he is a champion, like the way some of the guys I just named do. And it's frustrating because I felt like that game was never out of reach, but they couldn't have made a really strong, solid comeback. And I felt like, as much as LeBron wants to pass the torch to AD, it's still his team. And he's still very unstoppable. Like when LeBron wants to get to the basket, bro, no one's standing in his way. And he's shown that game in and game out. And he just, unfortunately, like I get it, dog, you're 39, but if you don't keep playing at, this high of, echelon of game time, dog, like, you got to go in there and be that dude sometimes. And I just feel like when they came back in, they caught up a little bit to the Denver Nuggets. They had a really strong shot, and LeBron just deferred, and he just kept deferring, and it just really, really irritated me watching that game. So I'm like, dog, if if you don't, beat LeBron James, like y'all gonna be going home early again, dog. But you're right. They 100% have the talent to beat this team, and LeBron just needs to get that one. When LeBron figures out how to beat you, he's really good about beating you over and over and over again. So
right,
they just need to figure it out. But they really need to just stop Jamal Murray. For whatever reason, that dude has the utmost confidence against the Lakers.
In the playoffs, especially.
All year. Yeah. All year, man.
Yeah. No, I feel you on that. And there are some times where I'm like, dang, because you're right. Like when he puts his head down, like he can still get to the basket anytime he wants, get and ones. Yep. But there were a couple times in that game where I'm like, oh man, he's just gonna pull up again. Like he's just gonna hook for threes. Like, no, that's not how it works. But yeah, I hope that they can kind of turn it around that game later tonight. So we'll see how it goes with that one. But you're right. It's like you can't save no energy. You can't defer. Like if you want this and you want to get it, I know it's gonna be take everything that you got left, LeBron, but just let it out. You know what I'm saying? Let's see where that gets us. Because I feel like if he would be able to make a run or like win one more championship, especially at this time, like there's no doubt what that does for your status. You know what I'm saying?
Legacy, you know what I'm saying?
Like the legacy, like but you don't want to be going out like this, you know what I'm saying? Going out in sweeps, going out in the first round. So
like you're already doing something that, these guys, the LeBrons and the Michael Jordans and the Kobe's just couldn't do it this late in their career. Like this man has averaged like 25 points a game his whole career. You know what I'm saying? Like from rookie to like now, like 39 years old, like this dude is still an absolute monster. 8 assists a game, 8 rebounds a game, 25 points a game at this age is insane. Yeah, and it's like this is it, dog. Like put everything you got into this. Like everybody's biggest argument over you is how many times you've lost in the finals. We're not even talking about the playoff series you've lost. Like let's, you know what I'm saying? Like let's end it on a dub. You know what I'm saying? Try to get this, at least beat the Nuggets, man. They're out there calling them your daddy and stuff like that. Hey, come on, show some fight, dog.
And you're right. Like the biggest argument against him being the GOAT or against him just throughout his career is that killer instinct, that like competitive mentality. Yeah. And like we need it right now if he's gonna do something in this playoff. So
big time.
I hope we see it. But let's move over to the East Coast. Let's start with your Celtics Heat. Unfortunately, Jimmy Butler getting hurt in the first play-in game, not being around, but the Heat took care of business in the second play-in game. But against the Celtics, do you think that they'll have enough to compete in this series?
Man, hell no. I almost wanted them to lose to the Bulls. You know what I'm saying? Like
after Jimmy went down?
Yeah, just be done with it. And like we don't have a chance. Like, I'm giving them one game, and that's only out of my respect for Spoelstra, because in my opinion, he's the best coach in the league, hands down. But they just don't have enough. You know what I mean? Like Boston, it was almost like they were playing with us in that first game. You know what I mean? Like they never looked scared at any point. It was a 3-point barrage. They were literally just taking turns, and there was almost nothing we can do. We started the game out really slow. We know them well, so like I said, we might be able to get one, like surprise them. But I honestly wouldn't be surprised if we end up getting swept. This Nuggets team, the Celtics team, I mean, is really, really good. You know what I mean? Probably the best they've been in a really, really long time. Porzingis, and they got Drew Holiday too. Derek White's playing really, really well. So the Celtics team is actually scary. You know what I mean? They're a really, really good team. So there's no way Miami goes on some crazy run. You know what I mean? But it kind of is what it is. Like Celtics are going to fly through this one pretty quickly. Have probably a lot of rest. I think this Cavaliers Magic series is going to go 6 or 7.
Yeah. No, yeah, I feel you. I think that they will have a lot of rest if this goes through pretty quickly. And yeah, you're right. Like it sucks to say that, but after Jimmy Butler goes down, like the Heat's perspective in the playoffs is like, completely changed. And I also hate to admit, but the Celtics, as much as I dislike them, they are the best version, the best formation of this team that they have been. Drew Holiday adding that pieces is so nice. Porzingis staying healthy. He's just, that's just a whole nother dynamic you have to deal with his height and his playmaking ability, his shooting. That is really tough. But I hope that they stumble somewhere in the playoffs. I can't let them, what I'm saying, go back up and with the Lakers because they're tied for championships right now. So we need to hold them down somehow. You know what I'm saying? I'm sending all my mojo against them. But Cavs came out with that first game. I still expect the Magic to hang in a little bit better, but Cavaliers holding court on the home court. What did you think about that?
Yeah, keep this one short. I'm with you on that one. Cavaliers have a little bit more playoff experience. Also, I'm saying obviously too with Donovan Mitchell. Magic, because they're so young, and I'm trying to think of their team in its entirety. I'm like, I don't know if anyone's been in the playoffs on that team. You know what I mean? Like, I can't think of anybody.
Right. I'm sure somebody has like an insignificant maybe player somewhere else. I don't know.
Right. But like, I'm literally thinking about everybody. I'm like, did Marco Fultz ever get there with? I don't think he ever got there with Philly because they still sucked at that point in time before they traded him.
Right.
But like, I really don't think anyone on that team has any playoff experience at all. So, they just need to go in there, play their game, play how they got there in the first place, and I think they'll play a much better game tonight. Yeah.
No, I feel that, and I hope so. I'm looking forward to that. On the other side, Bucks Pacers. So, it's very interesting. Dame came out with 34 points in the first half. Set the tone, did everything he needed to do. Didn't score in the second half, but it was enough to beat down the Pacers. No Giannis, no problem.
For now, yeah, I think so. I think they should be able to get past the Pacers as long as Dame's playing the way he played last night. And that's what they need. They need playoff Dame. You know what I mean? It's been a while since, it's been 2 seasons since he's been in the playoffs. And if they can give Giannis an entire series to get back, and honestly, possibly, whoever they play next between Knicks and 76ers is going to be really, really tough. You know what I'm saying? So, if they can give Giannis as much time, to get healthy to come back, they'll be fine. But Dame has to continue. He's got to average 30. You know what I mean? Like, he really does. He got to average 30 for these next series or two, and hopes to get Giannis back.
I agree. I think he's going to have to be that guy. But hey, they got him. They went out and got him so he could be that guy.
For sure.
So I like that. But the Pacers continue to let me down, man, a little bit. I know this is early, and I know the Milwaukee has the home court advantage. So they're only holding serve so far. But Pacers, I want to see a little bit more from them. Yeah. Halliburton, I love him. But like, let's see if they can like kind of take it to the next level. You know what I'm saying?
Hallie got to shoot, man. He didn't shoot at all. He didn't shoot at all on Saturday or whatever it was. Like, he didn't shoot nothing.
Right. So I don't know if he was hesitant, just deferring, whatever. But it's like you got to be that guy. Like, there's your team needs you to do that. So we'll see. The Knicks 76ers. Yeah, the Knicks. You know what I'm saying? The 76ers kind of caught up, but it was never really too close of a contest. Every time they would try to catch up in the second half, the Knicks would kind of take off a little bit more. I expected the 76ers to be a little bit better, but the Knicks were tough on them defensively, and Joel Embiid's still transitioning. You think the Knicks have a chance to take this one?
Yeah, I think the Knicks are going to take this one. I think the Knicks definitely win this series. They're my sneaky ones to actually get back to the Eastern Conference Finals. Honestly, they're really good defensively. Jalen Brunson is, like we talked about earlier, like he's that guy, he's that dude. He's the one taking the last shot of the game. When it's winning time in the fourth quarter, the ball's in his hands. Then his support cast is really, really phenomenal. Hart has been really, really good. You know what I mean? Like, DiVincenzo's been playing really well. And it just sucks because, like, I just want to see one postseason with a healthy Embiid, man. Like, I know Pops hates him, but he's so good, and I just want to see a healthy postseason with him. No eye mask, no broken knee, no torn. You know what I mean? No, there's always something, and it's one of those injuries that's like super debilitating. You know what I mean? So I just wish he could just play a whole playoffs healthy. You know what I'm saying? But he got hurt in game 1. He came back, but that's still a tough injury.
Yeah, we'll see. Like, I would love to see that as well. No injuries, no excuses.
Yeah.
But I feel like we're not going to get that this year. It's going to be another year gone by without that. So either way, though, I mean, what's that?
I think Maxey has the flu. I think he's going to play still, but Maxey's supposed to be sick tonight or something like that.
Oh, dang. So hopefully he has a Jordan-type flu game.
I know.
We'll see. But the Knicks, if they're able to take a 2-0 lead, that'll be pretty significant. But, yeah, that's what's up. All right, let's hit a couple more topics. Ohtani, we want to give him a big shout out. He hit his 176th home run, which breaks the MLB record for players or home runs by a Japanese-born player. He passed Hideki Matsui, who was with the Yankees for a long time. Also, Ichiro was a little bit further down that list. Yeah. But just another one of those records that Ohtani is gonna continue to break and continue to set up. But congratulations to him. And that's all we really have for baseball. Nothing too crazy going on, but
still super early.
Yeah, exactly. It's still, basically like not even a month into the season. So we got a lot of stuff going on with that one. Big shout out to Scotty Scheffler winning the RBC Classic 1 week after winning the Masters, which is pretty insane. Like, how dominant do you want to be? You win the Masters, you turn right around and win another funky jacket, you know what I'm saying, another trophy. Just dominant, man. But what do you think about his run? Do you think he can I don't know. Like, I was trying to look it up. I can't really find like tournaments in a row. Like, that'd be crazy though if he wins again.
Yeah, no kidding. It's so funny, man. Like, I don't know why. I saw something. It was on ESPN. It was like one of those like mini like headliners, and it was like, well, Scottie Scheffler, win, back-to-back, championships or whatever. So I went and put 100 on him real quick, and dude came through for me again, dog. Like, Scottie, he's that guy, man. He's literally my favorite golfer right now. You know what I'm saying? Hats off to Tiger Woods. He's been my favorite golfer for pretty much forever. But Scottie right now is just my dude. He's at the top of his game right now. I think I'm pretty positive right now he's ranked number 1, something like that thing in the world now. And and hats off to him, man. He's playing his best golf right now. So, man, I love to see him win the next one too. He's been an absolute beast.
Well, maybe you're the secret to his success, but don't abuse that power. You know what I'm saying? You can't do it every week, but hey, maybe you kind of let him cool off and then you hit him again and see if
I'm gonna chill on this next one. You know what I'm saying? Let him see what happens. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Come back in. You know what I'm saying? Later in the year. You know what I'm saying? Maybe mid-year.
Yeah, for sure. But no, he's already had a dominant 2024, and then with the way he's heating up right now, we'll continue to kind of watch and see. But shout out to Scottie Scheffler. Also, shout out to Tyler Reddick. Talladega yesterday, NASCAR was pretty gangster and very exciting. Lots of crashes that happen all the time when it's being a super speedway, and you never really know what's going to happen. But I wanted to shout this one out, especially because Team Jordan, this was the first time Michael Jordan was actually on hand at the track to see one of his team, drivers win. I think this is their 6th victory. So not very often, they're still obviously building that up, but it's pretty cool to see that he has the 23 and the 45 this week with the elephant print out there. And they ran a great race. And then they were actually in 3rd on the final lap when a crash happened, and Reddick was able to kind of clear through the debris and sneak in for the win. So big shout out there.
In the middle, that's dope.
That's tight. That's jump, man. And like, it's really cool actually. Tyler Reddick and Bubba Wallace, but Tyler Reddick especially, like, they have a crazy shoe game when it comes to if you ever like follow them on Instagram or anything like that. All the new Jordan releases, like, they get boxes, they get shipped in. So it would be really dope to be sponsored by Michael Jordan for sure.
Big time. He takes care of his.
For sure. All right, another quick story and just a sad story, and really we'll kind of have to continue to get it down on this, but the Coyotes did play their final game in Arizona, and some of the fans were hesitant to want to leave. Sad though, they will be leaving and be relocating to Utah. The former owner of the Coyotes will retain the name, and he's also getting paid just over $1 billion to be forced to sell the team to the Utah Jazz owner. And so when they move to Utah, they'll be playing in the same arena as the Jazz play. But if within the next 5 years, Alex Miro, who was the former owner, if he can come up with basically a stadium and a plan, the NHL has said that they will award him with an expansion franchise. So basically, the hope's not lost on having, hockey in the desert, but it's going to be on hold for at least 5 years. And then if everything were to go through and the stadium's ready, Miro would have to pay $1 billion franchise fee basically to get a new team, and then he'd be able to call that new team the Coyotes. So it's a pretty crazy story. How do you mess up and lose your hockey team, be forced to sell your hockey team? It's pretty sad, but it's kind of similar to what happened with the Cleveland Browns actually when they left and became the Ravens, and then some years went by and then the Browns showed up as a new expansion franchise, if you will. So any quick thoughts, Strizzy? Do you think that they'll make it back? What do you think about it?
I hope so. I know the fan base, our hockey fan base, isn't the biggest, right? But the fan base is definitely still there. And like you said, like, we really fumbled this team. Like, there are so many opportunities we had to kind of do right by them and really didn't. I never felt like moving to a college, stadium was the right choice.
Right.
There's no reason why.
That's when things took the turn down.
Exactly, 100%. So, hopefully we can, figure things out, get the new stadium, get it built up. So much land to do it in, you know what I mean? Hopefully they figure it out. We can get the team back. And I think, with 5 years of not having one, I think you have so much time in a sense to not only get it built, but to find a good like PR team and really kind of hype it. You know what I mean? Like remember how hype Las Vegas was to get the Knights, and they won a championship in 2 years. You know what I mean? Like got to the playoffs their first year, they won the championship the following year. You know what I mean? And even the Kraken, kind of the same thing. Like they started off kind of really slow, but they ended up getting themselves, saying a little bit better to the playoffs in a couple of years. So, you know what I mean? It's just, one of those things where I think it'll be kind of good for us maybe to fall under the radar for a little bit to kind of pick it back up.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel you. But I do hope it comes back. And selfishly, as someone from Arizona, like we were one of those markets that had all 4 major sports. We had all 5, including the WNBA. And so it's like I kind of want that for our market. It's definitely a big enough market to have it. So, I want all the professional sports here. I love it, especially when, my favorite teams like the Avalanche come to town. I can watch different things. And I know that that's sad. And I know that part of that's probably the reason why the Coyotes didn't have, the solid like home fans that they needed. But a lot of transplant fans here too. So,
yeah, 100%.
Yeah. So we'll see how it goes. But definitely sad to see. And definitely feeling for all those, big time loyal Coyotes fans out there, because that is pretty crazy, pretty shocking. All right, I think it's time now. We're gonna run through this. We're gonna hit up our mock draft, the SLAC mock draft. But right now we're on the clock. And does it look weird? Let me zoom out a little bit. Here we go.
There you go. Yeah.
All right. So the Chicago Bears. I don't think that there's much debate here. We know that this might not have been the way we would have gone, but now that Fields is gone, they got to draft a quarterback and they got to draft the best one. So I think we're cool. Caleb Williams, right?
100%. Yeah, easy. Definitely the consensus pick. I don't think there's any nations out there. That's exactly where he's going to go.
Like, honestly, that's one of those things that irritates me as a fan. Like, I love watching the draft, but when the number 1 pick for like 3 months and then they still take like their whole 8 minutes on the
I know. The worst, dog.
Ain't no phone calls coming through. Like, what the heck? Like, what are we doing here?
For real.
All right, moving on to the Washington Commanders, though. Most mock drafts have them going with a quarterback here, and it's, kind of between Drake May or Jaden Daniels. What do you think Dan Quinn and the Commanders will be leaning towards?
It's funny. I saw this, and I've been seeing, Jaden Daniels kind of playing pretty well, but I'm thinking Drake May goes second. That's where I'm at. I think he'd fit them too.
Yeah, I agree. I think that Jaden Daniels kind of ranks out a little bit higher, maybe the flash test and the stats and all that. But I feel like Drake May is like more coveted for whatever reason as far as like the long-term leadership.
Yeah.
So I agree. I think that Drake May goes second. So I'm gonna go ahead. We'll lock that in. We agree on that one. Now the New England Patriots are tricky. We know they need a quarterback, and that's probably what they're going to go with. It's crazy, though, if we do see it like this, 3 quarterbacks in a row. But what do you think they're going here? Do you think they would go quarterback?
Yeah, I'm with you. I don't know if they do. I know we're not doing trades, but I know there's talk of already them kind of trading down, I believe. So I don't know if they do take a quarterback. I'm not even sure who it's still Mac, right? Mac's still there.
No, he's gone.
Oh, you're right. He is gone. So I'm not really sure what they do, but I think that they can wait a little bit. If they trade down, they might be able to go after JJ McCarthy or something like that. But they need a receiver, man. Like their receiving core has been lacking so much. I don't know if they take Marvin Harrison Jr., but I don't know. It's tricky.
It is tricky, but I agree with you. I think we should mix it up right here because it depends. I think that they probably might go quarterback, right? But let's say that Drake May was their guy and he gets snatched away. I think that they are comfortable moving back. They did get Brissett as a veteran to kind of, be that like insurance policy. So even if they do trade back, they would probably do that to grab a receiver or another quarterback. So let's mix it up. You think they would go Marvin Harrison though, the best receiver on the board?
Absolutely. Offense has been lagging for the last couple of years, and I think Marvin Harrison Jr. can definitely change that.
I love it. Okay, cool. Let's go for it then.
Yep.
Let's mix it up. So now with the Cardinals, we know that they've kind of been leaning towards wide receiver.
Definitely. If he falls to 4, they're definitely grabbing Marvin Harrison. So I'm thinking we go Malik Neighbors.
All right, let's do that. Yeah, the best one out there, right? Say that was the guy they wanted, but he got snatched away. I feel like they're still going wide receiver. That's like their biggest need, especially to kind of support Kyler Murray. So let's do that. Let's go Neighbors. All right, now the Chargers are on the clock, and the Chargers have been another one that seemingly will be targeting offense or wide receiver. I've seen tight end here.
Yeah.
If their guy's not there though, maybe they would trade down. I don't know, but who do you think? Who do you think we should pick for them at this point?
I feel like they're in desperate need of a receiver too. They literally let everybody go. And it's kind of scary because it's like you got this franchise quarterback and nobody to throw it to. You know what I'm saying? So I'm almost leaning receiver, but I don't know if Rome's the guy. I don't know.
I think, I don't know. A lot of projections have him being like a very high pick, top 10 pick.
Yeah.
I agree they need a wide receiver. Let me see who else is there. I think that they would probably go with Rome, though.
Yeah.
All these other guys have a bigger drop off, I guess, after those top 3.
That's true. The other Washington receiver, is he eligible yet? I'm forgetting what his name is.
Yeah, Polk.
Yeah, him. Okay, so he's a little further down. All right, cool. That's what's up.
All right, let's do it then. Let's go ahead and draft Rome Odunze. However you say his name.
Yeah.
All right, now we're with the Giants. The Giants, I've seen them kind of going in different directions. Their QB, their needs are all over the board. QB, wide receiver, O-line, defensive, interior lineman, linebacker, and DB.
I was thinking almost O-line. The first O-lineman off the board.
They would probably go with the best tackle then.
Probably.
So
what's his face is what, a right-handed quarterback? So we're probably thinking about, well, a lot of times they don't say left tackle or right tackle, it's the tackle, but
right, but then I think definitely Joe Alt is the top one. Then I feel like they would go with him.
Yeah.
Let's do that. Let's draft them the lineman.
Yep.
All right, next up we got Tennessee Titans. They need a wide receiver too, but they also need offensive line.
I think they go offensive line. I think they got their quarterback. They have offensive weapons. Now they got to bolster up that offensive line for their new running back that they got last year.
Yeah,
Falcons definitely go line.
I think maybe this dude from Penn State. Now it's interesting how Pro Football Focus has these people ranked differently too.
Yeah.
But I think that this Fashanu is a little bit more coveted just based on his size and projections.
Okay. I'm with it.
I'm going to go with him then. I'm going to go with him for them. Only because I feel like they would go tackle outside linemen, basically.
Yeah. True.
All right. So let's do that. Next up, we have the Falcons. They need defensive line and corner. I do think that they're probably looking at an edge rusher.
I think they're definitely going to an edge rusher. I think they're definitely going defense. Like I said, the offense, and that's my bad. On the last pick, I thought we were already on the Falcons. That's why I was going so offensive line. But
gotcha.
But yeah, I think they're definitely going defense as well. I think you can never go wrong with a defensive player from Bama.
Yeah, so maybe the Dallas Turner.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
I like that too. That's what I was thinking too. This dude, Latu.
Yeah.
He's pretty dope, but I feel like I've seen Dallas Turner being a little bit more highly graded, so I feel like they would go with him there.
I think so too.
All right, cool. So now we're back around to the Falcons. They have their quarterback, obviously. Now they not back around to the Falcons, back around to the Bears. They drafted Caleb Williams. They do have wide receiver and defensive line as their other needs here.
I'm saying defensive line. I think I know their biggest thing if they kept Justin Fields and they went wide receiver first, that I know that their second pick is probably going to be another defensive lineman.
Yeah,
so I'm thinking they go defensive lineman with their second pick.
I feel you.
Thinking Latu for that one, he might be good there.
Who's that?
Byron Murphy. I was like Latu might be good there, but yeah, Murphy might be good there too.
I know. I'm wondering. I'm thinking if they go interior or exterior. I don't know though. I would say maybe. Let's go. Well, either one. Who do you think?
I think they go edge. I think they go exterior. Okay. So they definitely need someone to get to the quarterback.
All right, I like it. All right, we'll go to the edge rusher, Latu from UCLA. Now we're to the Jets. They have wide receiver, tackle, interior lineman on the defense or safety. I have seen some people saying they will go tackle here. I've seen some people saying that they might go actually for either Brock Bowers or a different pass catcher.
Yeah.
What do you think that they lean towards?
I think Brock Bowers might be a good one. I think they want to help Aaron Rodgers as much as they possibly can. It's going to give him some more weapons, and I think Brock Bowers would be a great weapon for him. The defense has never really been their problem, so
yeah,
I feel like going safety makes sense, but I think they're fine there. I think they want to give make it as easy for Aaron as possible this upcoming season. So I'm thinking either, like you said, a tackle for him to guard his left side, or the tight end spot.
Let's do it. Let's go with Brock Bowers then. Yeah. I feel like they're going to try to lean offensive at least early right now because their defense is always so solid. So
yeah,
we'll do that. Brock Bowers. Now moving to the Vikings. So quarterback is a big need for them. I could see them, I guess, going with the quarterback now that they basically have Sam Darnold. But do you see them drafting a quarterback, or do you think that they're going to go in a different direction?
I think they're going to go in a different direction. I think they're okay with not having a great year this upcoming year. And who knows? You know what I'm saying? Sam Darnold showed some light at the end of the season with the Panthers when he had the coaching change. And I think he showed, coming in when the 49ers were up big, he played pretty well too. So I think for him, I think it's his biggest thing is just, coaching, right? I feel like, the beginning of the Panthers run, obviously horrible coaching when he was with New York.
Yeah.
And I think he's going to be a little bit better here. And you've got arguably the best, receiver. So I think they're not going to go quarterback this year, maybe go next year because it's going to be difficult. But I don't know. It's so tricky. It looks like they have a lot, right? Was it quarterback? Was it tight end, guard?
Yeah.
Center,
we haven't
DB.
picked too many linemen.
Yeah.
So I'm almost thinking they might go guard here.
Yeah. He's going to need some protection. When he has time to throw, he plays really well. So they might have to get him some protection.
Okay, let me see here. Let me go over here. Dang, the guards are kind of down further though.
Yeah.
Maybe they would go with the center then. Let's try them, Jackson Powers Johnson.
Yeah. I'm with that.
All right. Let's do that one. For them, they get them a Mauler on the middle. Because they need a guard and a center. He could play either, but he'll play center for sure. Yeah. Next up, the Broncos. Quarterback, wide receiver, center, edge rusher, and cornerback.
Yeah, they drafted a kicker, dog. No, I was playing. Yeah, that's what's tricky. I think that they definitely need a quarterback. I don't know if if Daniels or McCarthy's on their radar. You know what I mean? But they definitely need one, and I feel like it's going to be really difficult to get one in like free agency, just the way they did Russell Wilson. You know what I mean? So, if they don't get one this year, I think they definitely try to go get one next year.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, they've got a couple of good ones. I'm saying Jane Downs is legit. McCarthy, Bo Nix, Michael Penix Jr. I know Michael Penix has fallen a little bit, but who knows? I feel like he'd still be decent enough.
Yeah, I feel like if Jaden Daniels was here though, they would grab him up quick.
Yeah, he's there. Yeah, you're right. I think if he's there, they'll scoop him up.
All right, let's do that then. Yeah, because I almost forgot he's still available on our board. So
yeah,
he would definitely be on the move there. Now, what about the Raiders? They need a quarterback as well. Yeah. They need a running back after they let their boy go.
Yeah.
They have a lot of different needs actually.
Yeah.
But what do you think that the Raiders will be doing?
I'm trying to think who the quarterback even is.
I kind of have them going quarterback as well, honestly.
Yeah. It might be a solid fit for. It's funny because of who their coach is. I'm curious if they were to go someone like JJ McCarthy or if they go with somebody like Michael Penix. You know what I mean? Because I'm not really sure about Bo. I think Bo's biggest thing is his age, right? Like he's mature. Like he's coming out definitely a little older. Might be a lot more ready to go at quarterback than a lot of us think, just because of the experience that he has. But Probably JJ or Michael Penix, honestly. I don't know if Bo goes before either one of them.
I would say I agree. I think maybe Michael Penix would fit a little bit better.
I was thinking the same thing. I think he just fits that Raiders mold a little more than JJ McCarthy does.
Yeah, I feel it. All right, let's do that. Let's go with Michael Penix for them. And we'll be a little bit all over the board, but I like that. I just feel like
Me too.
Yeah. We'll just mix it up a little bit. Let's see. And I think this is what's so awesome about the draft night too, is that depending on how people go, it can get all mixed up really quickly. I feel like the Saints, I feel like there might go offensive line here, but it has their leads as quarterback, wide receiver, tackle, and D line. They still got the Washington tackle out here. I think he's really good. They might try to go for him.
Definitely. I'd agree with that one. If they don't go with that, I think they go receiver, but I could see them definitely go for a tackle there. All
right, let's do that one for them. Next up, we got the Colts. I think they're going for receiver or DB for sure. Like those, they have very specific needs for a reason. Yeah. I don't know what's on the wide receiver side left, though. I don't know if they'd go AD Mitchell so soon. So maybe they would get the best cornerback. What do you think?
Yeah, probably. I feel like they were actually pretty dang good last year on offense, considering, they had their backup, their starting quarterback got injured so early in the season. I think Richardson's going to, he's going to be so good. He's got to stay healthy. Yeah. I'm thinking DB probably. They can get a receiver in the second round easy.
I think it might be this Quentin Mitchell from Toledo. I guess he's been kind of rising up the draft board. So
yeah,
I say let's go with him. Let's go with him for the Colts. Next up, the Seahawks. Now, I know that they're looking at line as well, but also we have a lot of good edge rushers still. What do you think for the Seahawks?
Yeah, that one's tricky. I know they're trying to bolster up the defense this year, like you said, edge, so they probably go edge rusher too.
Let's see. Still got Jared Verse from Florida State. He's supposed to be a stud.
I'm about to say that's honestly probably where I go, honestly.
All right, let's go with him then. Next up on the clock, the Jaguars. The Jaguars have actually been pretty strong. Like they don't really need nothing too crazy.
Right.
I could see them going DB though here as well.
I think I agree with that. I feel like no matter where they go, it's going to be a defensive position.
Yeah,
they did lose Calvin Ridley, but aside from that, I don't think they're that desperate for a receiver. They still have some others.
I feel like maybe then Cooper or maybe Byron Murphy too on the defensive line, but
yeah,
because he's a beast, he's still out there.
Yeah, Byron Murphy would be good.
Let's go with him.
He's from a bigger school too, so he definitely have to play some pretty big teams.
Yeah. All right, let's go with him. But next up, we have Bengals. The Bengals are such an interesting one, man. Losing, losing Joe Mixon, but obviously they don't have them going running back here. They say tight end, tackle, or defensive interior.
I was thinking tight end, honestly. I think they'd be good with tight end. I say Iowa. Yeah. I feel like you can't go wrong with an Iowa tight end, dog. Like he's gonna be good regardless.
I like it. All right, next up we've got the Rams. Quarterback, tackle, D line.
It's always tough when you have a team that's like really well coached.
True. Because their needs aren't like so apparent, but
yeah,
maybe they would go with this tackle out of Oregon State. Okay. Just based off of what's here still.
Yeah,
I don't think we're gonna go corner. Let's just go with the tackle.
You can always draft a good offensive lineman.
Yeah, can always
go on there.
All right, let's see. Steelers, wide receiver, tackle, center, or cornerback. I think they could probably go cornerback or tackle.
Yeah, that offensive line's been kind of crap. The run game has been absolutely horrendous in the last couple of years.
Right.
But just say tackle, okay. But yeah, they definitely need to bolster the offensive line. It's been really, really poor the last couple of years. Haven't had very good pass protection either.
Let's see. Let's go with this dude out of Alabama then.
Yeah, with that.
Next up, we have the Dolphins, tight end, O-line, or defensive interior line. They'll probably go with this dude out of Illinois.
Yeah.
I think O linemen. I don't know what they really need on their O line. So I say let's get them a D tackle.
Do it.
That's a good value pick there.
Definitely.
Next up, the Eagles, wide receiver, linebacker, or DB.
Probably DB, man. They got murdered last year in the secondary, dog. Like,
true. All right, let's go with the best one available then. Let's go with Cooper DeJean.
Yeah.
All right, next up, Minnesota. Now we did draft a player for them already, right? We drafted a center for them.
Yeah.
They do still need a quarterback. Now let's see. We still got JJ McCarthy out there.
I think that'd be a solid one for them. I think that'd be a solid one.
I like that, yeah.
Close to Minnesota anyway.
Right. Still got the big M. So let's go with JJ McCarthy for them for sure.
Yeah, I'm with that.
All right, and next up, the Cowboys. So
what y'all thinking? What you think this is all you right here?
Honestly, you know what I would love? I would love if they go with Demarius Mims, honestly. I don't know. I feel like they're going to draft a running back, but like if we look at the running backs, they're all ranked pretty low as far as like draft value. Now, of course, that doesn't mean anything. You can draft them anytime. Right. So I feel like they would be between one of these running backs, but I think the other hard part about running backs this year is there's no standout one. They're all kind of the same, like rated. Yep. So you could pick any of these guys.
I feel like the Dallas Cowboys the last couple of years were the best when their offensive line was just a juggernaut. You know what I mean? Like,
right.
Remember we were just constantly talking about how good that offensive line was, and Zeke was just going ham every game. Like, I feel like they should just bolster that shit up again, dog. But
yeah, this would be a dream of mine, and definitely, like, if I can have this pick, I would go Demarius Mims. Out of Georgia. I mean, we have not replaced Tyron Smith, who was basically like a Hall of Fame for us. And Demarius Mims, like, if everything pans out, his size and his physicality, as long as he like applies himself, he could be a monster. He could be a 10-year starter. So I'm going with Demarius Mims from Georgia.
I'm with it, dog. I'm with it. I think they should definitely bolster up that offensive line. I think they struggled running the ball a little bit last year, and you know what I mean? It makes it easy. It makes it difficult for Dak and the receivers if all you do is pass the entire game. You know what I mean?
Right. And if we can get that line right, it doesn't really matter as much who we end up, using that running back. So,
yep.
All right. Let's see. The Packers O-line.
It's tricky. I think Graham Barton would actually probably be really good. You know what I mean?
True. And if he's still there at this point.
Yeah.
All right. Let's go with him. Then the tackle out of Duke. That'll be legit. Buccaneers, they kind of need that interior offensive line, but I think they're going defense for sure.
Yeah.
They always go defense.
I think it's smart too. I think they still have a solid set of offensive weapons.
Right. It's weird. This Chop Robinson guy is not as highly rated as his teammate, but a lot of mock round one has him going in round one.
Right.
I almost feel like maybe we'll go with him then. I think we'll go with this dude, Chop Robinson. He's got a really cool name, if anything, too. Let's see. Cardinals now. So the Cardinals are back on the clock.
Yeah.
This time they might go defense.
I think so too. Maybe quarterback. We took the wide receiver from LSU last time.
Okay. So, yeah, let's take a cornerback. Let's take a cornerback this time. So, probably this guy from Alabama, honestly.
100%, or Kool-Aid.
Yeah, or Kool-Aid. He's going to go early, too, because of his name. Like, he's
for sure.
That's just a tight name. But I think Arnold has a more skill set, so we'll draft him for the Cardinals. Definitely. I like that. The Bills. I almost feel like the Bills have to go wide receiver.
Oh, the wide receiver room looks horrible, dog.
Yeah, after losing their two most productive guys, of course, in Davis and our boy. So
seriously,
I don't know. What do you think here? The other wide receiver from LSU has been actually getting a lot of talk too.
I know. I feel like LSU is another one of those like wide receiver university type schools. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, I know the kid from Texas is a little higher ranked, but I just feel like you can't go wrong with the LSU receiver.
Yeah. All right, let's go with Brian Thomas Jr. for them then. I like that. Okay, now we got Detroit. Guard, center, edge, or cornerback. I almost feel like they're a offensive line type of team. I don't know.
Yeah. If anything, their running game was so good last year.
Yeah.
They don't honestly. They don't have a lot of weaknesses. Their needs, to me, probably just aren't that great. You know what I'm saying? Like, and they were also missing their top dogs at cornerback. So I feel like they get them back this year. They're probably fine. So if they did draft one, it would definitely be probably a start in the first round. But I think that they'd probably have them as a just in case measure.
Yeah,
not with you. I think they just continue to just make that offensive line even stronger than what it already was, and they definitely have one of the strongest last year. Be able to give their guys some breaks, move them in and out a little bit.
Right. I think let's go with Zach Frazier then, because it's guard and center. They need an interior guy
for sure.
That's our best interior lineman left, though. So let's go with that.
I'm with that.
I like that. The Ravens are on the clock now. They need wide receiver, O-line, edge, corner. I could see them going corner here or wide receiver, honestly.
For sure.
We didn't pick for them already, did we?
No, they never have a high pick. They're always towards the end.
True. What do you think about this one, though? Which one do you want to – we got a bunch of wide receivers and corners up here at the top of our overall draft rankings.
I like my dog Kool-Aid McKendry just because I'm a Raven fan. And I'll say nice little lanky cornerback to bolster that defense.
All right, cool. Let's go with that. Then let's go with Kool-Aid to the Ravens. And then now we got our Super Bowl participants. We got the 49ers. They see O-line or cornerback. I don't really know about the 49ers here.
Was it O-line and cornerback? I'd say probably. It was funny. I'd probably say the best left tackle you can get, only because Trent Williams is obviously still there.
Yeah,
he's old, dog. Trent Williams is not young, bro.
That's true.
He can't have too many years left. He's like 36. So he's not a young guy no more.
True. Let's go with our guy from Oklahoma then, Tyler Guyton.
Let's do it. Yeah, I think Guyton's straight.
Yeah, he's going to be a good one for a long time. So
yeah.
I can see them adding that to their line for sure.
He'll play on the opposite side. If they need him to, we can always switch when Trent Williams retires.
True, when it's time, yeah, for sure. Chiefs next up. I feel like the Chiefs almost for surely are going to take a wide receiver.
They got to.
I guess then let's go with A.D. Mitchell since he's the highest one left on our board.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. I think all the offseason antics, they're kind of forced to go wide receiver.
For sure. I would love to see my boy Ladd McConkey get in there somewhere.
Yeah.
But definitely he's kind of, second day material. But Mitchell, that would be really cool. So I think they would definitely snap him up if he's still here. All right. It's going to analyze our draft, but we're going to analyze it afterwards. But let's see what they say. Share your mock draft. We'll save this too so that we have it. Did it say? It didn't even give us a grade.
Oh dang.
Well, that's okay, I guess. I don't know. It's weird.
Maybe they'll give you a grade after the draft actually happens.
Oh, maybe. Okay.
Maybe.
But yeah, we'll definitely keep this though on file for our future, you know what I'm saying? And we'll also we'll see if we can get a couple from some of our slackers so that we can compare them for sure.
Definitely.
But that's what's up. That was our mock draft. And that was our episode 243. So again, we appreciate y'all rocking with us week to week. And we'll go ahead and get out of here. But we will be back to our regular scheduled programming next week. But until then, much love, and again, enjoy the NFL draft, enjoy the NBA playoffs, and lots more to discuss when we get back together. But for now, that was episode 243. It's your boy A-Dub.
And your boy Striz.
Peace.